All good, man.
We are back live here on kjagradio.com, kjagradio.com. We have got a tremendous guest joining us today here on our big program, and we let the guests do their own introductions here just in case I miss anything. So tell us a little bit about yourself, my friend.
Name's James Warren, singer-songwriter based out of Minnesota. So, yeah, just mostly kind of in the Americana genre. Yeah, I don't know. What else you want to know, man?
Well, tell us a little bit about how we find you online. We would like to find you online and everything else.
On the interweb? Yeah, for sure. My Facebook page is facebook.com/James Warren Band. Website is jameswarrenmusic.com. And then you can also find me on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, all of those wonderful platforms to stream any of my music, including the latest single I put out a couple weeks ago.
Awesome. So, how did you get started doing the music thing, man?
Kind of, I just always been a lifelong thing, right? And I suppose a lot of musicians probably say that, but started out playing percussion, and piano as a young kid. As I got older, I started playing a little bit of guitar. Used to actually teach percussion at a high school years ago.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then but always kind of kept the guitar in my back pocket, and always enjoyed songwriting and everything else. And then fast forward, years later, just really wanted to focus and kind of hone in on that craft. And that's kind of where my attention has been, doing that.
Awesome. We have got a tremendous guest joining us today here on our big program, and jameswarrenmusic.com is the official website. Go over to jameswarrenmusic.com right now. So, who are some of your musical heroes and influences, my friend?
Good question. Being a singer-songwriter, and I suppose from Minnesota, I have a connection with Bob Dylan. Obviously, I suppose any singer-songwriter would say that, but Bob Dylan, Townes Van Zandt is kind of some of the legacy artists, right? More current artists. Ryan Adams is a big influence. Tyler Childers is a big influence. Jason Isbell, a lot of those Americana type artists. Ryan Bingham for sure. So that's where that's where I spend a lot of my time listening and drawing some musical inspiration from. But from just an overall inspirational standpoint, I think every artist, including myself, kind of draws it from a little bit of everything, right? Sometimes we've got a little 2-year-old daughter, and so I do also spend a lot of time listening to the Frozen soundtrack, and so I can't.
That's awesome.
So I don't know what influence is necessarily coming out of that, but you listen to and appreciate everything, and we're all a product of our surroundings. So yeah.
Fantastic. We have got a great guest with us today. jameswarrenmusic.com, by the way, is the official website. Go over to jameswarrenmusic.com. For more information, James Warren joins us today here on kjagradio.com. So, you grew up in Minnesota, and what is the music scene like there?
It's pre-COVID, it's always been a melting pot. Minnesota has. Where I'm at in central Minnesota, it's not a flourishing scene like it had been in years past. If you get up more into the the North Country of Minnesota, there's a really, really interesting artistic scene up there, kind of the Two Ports area, Duluth and that area up on Lake Superior. And then in Minneapolis, and I'm kind of in between the two, but in Minneapolis, definitely a melting pot of everything. So yeah, it's certainly not genre specific, and I think Minnesota has a strong reputation of being that melting pot, dating back even into the 80s and like the punk rock scene, right? Minneapolis kind of was known for having its own punk rock scene back then, which was just a kind of a collection of everything, right? A casserole of all music.
Awesome. Awesome. It is James Warren. He's with us today here in a broadcast. JamesWarrenMusic.com is the official website. So tell us a little bit about how we can buy your music and get your music online, because we're all about trying to help you move some merchandise, as they say.
Yeah, appreciate that. You can buy all my music right on the website, JamesWarrenMusic.com. Otherwise, it's on all the major streaming platforms, Amazon, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, all of those types of things. And then also on my YouTube channel, all my music is posted on there, along with just kind of some other things that I do from a performance standpoint. So yeah, those would be I think obviously the most attractive places to go find that stuff, and the most easily accessible. But wherever you stream music, you should be able to find it on there. So
if somebody has never seen you live or has never heard your music, how would you describe that to people?
That's a good question. I mean, it's definitely like alt country, kind of singer-songwriter alt country. My previous release, I put out an EP about 5 years ago, and I haven't released anything since then. Just kind of busy doing the dad thing, right? But that one is a little bit more on kind of the country rock side of things. Whereas some of my newer music is definitely a little bit more chill, a little bit more melodic, but definitely in kind of that Americana singer-songwriter genre. It's very acoustic, definitely some country influences, not pop country, but that alt country type stuff. So not super twangy, but you can hear the influence, I guess, is my point.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic. James Warren with us today. JamesWarrenMusic.com is the official website. Go over and check out JamesWarrenMusic.com for more information. So you've got this incredible music out there. Bottles and Bones is the latest single. Tell us a little bit about this before we play it.
Sure. The song is it's a little dark, and you can hear in the music it's definitely kind of has a haunting, chilling vibe to it. The imagery that's described in there is just kind of talking about that emptiness that so many of us have had an emotion, and that's really what the song is about. It's not about an event or an experience or a thing. It's it's more about an emotion that has I tend to write from that perspective, or from that area, more than anything else. Try to drive my lyrical influence from an emotional element, again, rather than from like writing about a thing, right, or an event, so to speak. So just kind of that feeling of empty bottles and old bones, and like that's just kind of what's left with you. And it's written in reflection, and even the official music video, I'd encourage people to go check that out. It's on all major platforms as well, on my website, on YouTube and Facebook and all that. Really cool music video I did with a close friend of mine, Tony Slyvers, with Aglow Cinematics. He's a phenomenal videographer. So any other artists out there that are listening, looking for a videographer to shoot an amazing video, go check out my buddy Tony. So he produced that whole thing, but the video did a really good job of capturing that imagery of it being in reflection, and kind of how we artistically put that together. And that's kind of the perspective of the song.
That's awesome.
Looking onto that emotional element, if that'll make sense.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. We have got a great guest with us today. James Warren joins us today. JamesWarrenMusic.com is the official website of records. So how active are you on social media? What's been the reaction to some of your music on there?
I'm super active on social media, on Instagram and Facebook, for sure. Post very regularly. I'll also regularly post like some acoustic covers of things that I do and things like that, just to continue to put content out there and share my music with people that can't necessarily come see a live show. Obviously during these times, that's even more so. And the reaction to the latest single has been phenomenal. It's been overwhelming. It's being picked up by a lot of radio stations, including yourself. So thank you very, very much for supporting it. That goes a long way. It's incredibly important. Just seeing the amount of people that are sharing it and telling their friends and family about it. And like, that's the one thing I can, as an independent artist, that I can tell any listeners, like if you want to help an independent artist, that just sharing the music with other people is the biggest thing you could do. That's the most influential, and it will have the biggest impact on that person's art, and supporting them as an artist is just to share it with other people, because it goes so far.
Fantastic. Well, we are going to play this track. I appreciate you making time for us today and being on. And before we let you go, what's next for you as an artist, my friend?
Currently working on a full length, so that'll be out when it comes out. It's, just started it a few weeks ago, getting it back into the studio and getting that all organized. So that'll be an LP out, probably either later this year or the beginning of next. And I'll let you know when that's available, and we'll circle back.
I appreciate it. Well, we are going to play the track, and thanks for doing this, my friend. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, brother. There he goes, James Warren. It's jameswarrenmusic.com. We are going to go to this track. It is on your world famous big broadcast, coast to coast and border to border on iHeartRadio today. Also, AMFM247.com, JiggyJaguar.com as well. And we are going to go to James Warren Music, and he is going to join us right now with his incredible song, Bottles and Bones.
Nothing left inside me, empty bottles and old bones, weathered by the rain, broken down for sure. How can I keep the lights on when I'm burning out from both ends? A flame that burns but a flicker when it can. Cold wind blows, empty bottles and old bones. Cold wind blows, bottles and bones, bottles and bones. This old house is haunted by ghosts made of old bed sheets. Took them from the bed where I used to sleep. No wide driveways and some back roads with the bell jar under my arm. Loneliness just a calm before the storm. Cold wind blows, empty bottles and old bones. Cold wind blows, bottles and bones. The mailbox holds a postcard reading, I'm wishing you were here. A voice will sound like a whisper in your ear. Cold wind blows, battles and bones. Cold wind blows, empty bottles and on bones. Cold wind blows, battles and bones, battles and bones. Battles and bones.
That's it. It's James Warren Music. Check out jameswarrenmusic.com for more information. And this